Hello my lesbian nuns, I'm Vampire Ian and welcome to Batty Decks, the series where I give you a profile on a deck that I've brewed up on a whim for your entertainment. This is a bit of an unusual one in that I didn't actually brew this build. Today's deck is a very cool build from the Montreal YCS by David Trepanier, and it has some really cool techs in it that I want to show you and explain how they work. That deck is Cyberdark Dinomorphia Exosister. Yes, you heard me right. Cyberdark Dinomorphia Exosister. Let's check it out. So here's the deck. I know what you're thinking. 3 archetypes in one deck? That's a lot of explaining to do. Well, here's the kicker. It's actually 4 archetypes if you include the spirit monsters. But explaining the archetypes actually doesn't matter too much because they're all just here to be packages of extenders for the Exosister deck. So let me pitch it to you like this then. You want to play the cool lesbian nun deck that punishes every deck that interacts with the graveyard, which is most of them currently. Unfortunately, there's only a few good cards in the main deck. What's the solution? Simply don't play the bad cards. But the usual rank 4 extenders just won't work. You see, Exosister Martha, the best card in the archetype, locks you out of special summons for non-Exosisters after she uses her powerful effect. Well, then you need some normal summon extenders. The obvious first pick for that is Sakitama, the new spirit monster support. Because spirit monsters can't be special summoned and they return to the hand at the end of the turn, they need a lot of extra normal summons. So Sakitama allows you to reveal itself and normal summon a spirit in hand, including itself, thus giving you your level 4 extension. A lot of Exosisters play this already to help extend. It's not particularly unusual, but it's not really enough if you want to cut out all of the bad Exosister cards. You're going to need some more extension. Enter Cyberdark Realm. This continuous spell from the recent structure deck can search a Cyberdark monster and then gives you an extra normal summon of a Cyberdark monster. You can search Edge and then summon it for an extra 4 on board. And Realm itself is easily searchable by Cyberdark Claw, which our Cyberdark extender can then attach to itself from grave. This is additionally good for us because unlike the other Exosister cards, Exosister Martha can activate on a card moving from either player's grave. Activating Edge to equip Claw allows us to summon out an Exosister Ixies monster using only Martha as material. Now we're looking at a more complete deck. But we still need some more playable monsters. Well, since the Exosisters special summon themselves and the extenders give us extra normals to summon them, we still have our first normal summon. So let's use that on a singularly powerful card that also happens to be a level 4 monster. Dinomorphia Exosister. The Dinomorphia archetype is based on a small number of monsters and a large number of traps that pay half your life points for their effects, including fusion summons of powerful monsters. By using Exosister's on-summon effect to set Dinomorphia Frenzy, we can get a level 4 for our Ixies monsters and a powerful fusion summon off of Frenzy which sends from deck for material. Now just add in some non-engine and you've got a pretty powerful deck made from archetypes that seem to have nothing in common. Now that the explanation is done, let's get into the nitty-gritty with a card by card. First up is 3 Exosister Martha. This is the best Exosister card, the circular of the deck if you will. She just does everything. If you control no monsters, you can special summon her and then special summon Exosister Ellis from the deck, the only other Exosister that we're playing. This of course locks us, as I said earlier, but the deck is built around that. Martha's other effect allows us to quick Ixies with Martha as material if any card is moved from any graveyard. Next up we have 3 Ellis. In addition to being a card that Martha can summon, she's also an extender. If you control an Exosister, you can special summon her from hand. We don't play her partner, so no life point gain effect, and you probably won't trigger her Ixies effect since it has to be a card moved from your opponent's grave, unlike Martha. But regardless, we still need her for Martha, and her extension effect is pretty good too. Next up is 3 Sakitama, which has the normal spirit effects and the ability to reveal itself in hand to normal summon a spirit monster. Next we have 3 Dinomorphia Exosister, which can set a Dinomorphia trap from deck and then gain 500 attack if your life points are below 2000. We don't have another level 4 or lower Dinomorphia for the other effects, so don't really worry about that. Next up we have our Cyberdark Claw, which we can discard to search Cyberdark Realm, which can then search Cyberdark Edge. This is our Cyberdark package. Additionally, if Cyberdark Claw is equipped and that monster battles, you can send a monster from your extra deck to the grave. This allows us to do funny stuff with graveyard effects, although it won't really come up very often. As for Cyberdark Edge, it can of course equip the Claw from grave and then attack directly, meaning we can actually use that Claw effect a little more often. It does of course have its attack points, so don't think about doing lethal with it. Next up is the spells. We have 3 of the only Exosister spell we need to play, Exosister Pax. This card searches an Exosister for 800 life points, giving us extra consistency to Martha. If Ellis is on field or in grave for some reason, we can then just summon Martha on the spot, but you won't get the effect of her built into the special summon, so you don't really want to do that. You can also use this to get Ellis in hand if you already have Martha, obviously. Do what you will. Next we have the 2 Cyberdark Realm, which of course are Search by Claw and Search Out Edge, and then give us the extra normal summon to summon the Edge. It also lets you equip from your opponent's grave, if that matters at all. It probably won't. Lastly, we have 3 Pot of Prosperity, which allows us to dig deep in our deck. This is actually really important for this deck because of our 4 different extender engines that we have, and also because of just how important Martha is to the entire strategy. You want to have constant access to Martha, and you want to be able to access one of the 4 engines you don't already have in hand. For the trap lineup, we have 2 Dinomorphia Frenzy, which lets you fusion summon a Dinomorphia fusion on your opponent's turn by paying half of your life points using a monster from deck and the monster from the extra deck, meaning we can get Rexstrom or any of the other Dinomorphia fusions we might want in that particular moment, but probably Rexstrom. You can also banish this card from your grave to protect from effect damage once your life points are below 2,000. You don't have to worry about Cowboy in this deck. And then lastly, we have Exosister Returnia, a trap which can be searched by Michaelis. It allows you to pay 800 life points to banish a card your opponent controls or has in grave, and then Ixie summon with the monsters you control, or if you've Ixie summoned this turn, you can just banish another one. Next up for our non-engine, we have a few fun picks, but first we gotta get through the boring ones. You gotta have your vegetables before you have your dessert. As usual with an Exosister list, we start with the Dimension Shifter, which doesn't hurt us too bad, but really hurts the opponent. Honk, shoe, honk, shoe. Then we have 3 Ash Blossom to stop stupid things. We of course have the 1 Feather Duster to stop back row. Next we have a Triple Tactics package. We have Triple Tactics Talents and Triple Tactics Thrust. While generally our 3 Thrust are to get our talents, we can also use Thrust to get funny things like Dinomorphia Frenzy, Exosister Returnia, or the Feather Duster if we need them. Always keep that in mind. Triple Tactics Thrust could be anything. It could even be talents. Lastly, as our funniest include, we have a 3 of Forbidden Lance in order to protect our plays from Imperm, Book of Moon, or similar cards that are popular right now. This card actually is really good in the deck because we really don't want to be interrupted. We're the only ones that do interruption in this deck. In the extra, we have a Dinomorphia package for our Frenzy, starting with 1 Stealth Bergia, which if you have less than 2,000 life points, saves you from having to pay life points for effects. And then once per turn, when an opponent activates a monster effect, you can burn them for that monster's attack. Then, if it's destroyed, you can summon Theresia back from the grave. Next, there's 1 Kentragina with a whopping 4,000 attack minus your current life points. During the main phase, you can pay half your life points and banish a normal trap card in grave to copy its effect. Then it has the same effect as Stealth Bergia when destroyed. Lastly, we have 2 Rexstrom, which is the one we will make most of the time. This one has a floodgate that prevents your opponents from activating monster effects if the monster has more attack points than your life points. It can also have your life points to make the attack of your opponent's monsters equal to your life points, which then prevents them from activating those effects. And those very life points should be 2,000 or lower at that point, considering we already have our life points twice. That also happens to be lower than Rexstrom's attack, meaning he can get over them afterwards. Both Exosister packs and Returnia help get our life points low too, meaning you can get their attack points really low and then stomp all over them. This altogether makes a pretty powerful package that we get to have for a very small footprint in the deck. Next up in the deck, we have some generics. First up is Elder Entity Entis, which funnily enough we can actually make and then use to summon back a 4 and then Ixies again. That's just a funny what if though. You're really not going to do that. More than likely you'll be sending this to grave off of Claw's equip effect to pop an opponent's card. Chaos Angel we can make off of any of our level 4 monsters and the level 6 Dinomorphia fusions, or I guess Dimension Shifter if you normal Dimension Shifter. Why would you do that? And then we can access its on-summon banish and the continuous effects to protect our monsters from battle destruction and monster effects too if you use a light monster as the tuner. Then we have Zeus, the ever-present board wipe of all Ixie's decks. Blah. Next up are our many Exosisters. First up we have Caspatel, who can't be destroyed by battle with a monster summoned from the grave like all of the other rank 4 Exosisters, so I'm going to stop saying that right now. Just assume I said it. Also, like all the other rank 4, she has a special effect if there is at least 1 Exosister under her as material. Hers allows you to on-summon prevent special summoning from the grave for the rest of the turn. She can also detach a material to search an Exosister monster to hand, meaning your level 4 extenders can get you an Exosister if you need. Next is Jabreen. Her Exosister effect allows you to quick effect negate a monster effect on field, and her detach effect gives you all of your Ixie's monsters 800 more attack for the turn. There's a theme with 800. Just work with it. Asophiel is next. Her Exosister effect allows you to on-summon prevent activation of effects in grave, and her detach effect lets you bounce an opponent's monster. Next up, we have a grand total of 3 Michaelis, the newest and best of the rank 4s. Her Exosister effect allows you to quick effect banish a card your opponent controls or has engraved, just like Returnia, and then her detach lets you add a spell trap, which will, funnily enough, usually be used to get Returnia. Although, you can also get packs if you already have Returnia. An extra search doesn't hurt anyone. Then, lastly, we have 2 of the rank 8 boss monster Magnifica. You must make this card with 2 rank 4 Exosister Ixies monsters, and fitting to that, and the art on the card where the power of Girl's Love is on full display, you can make 2 attacks per battle phase. You can quick effect detach to banish a card your opponent controls, and when your opponent activates a card or effect, you can return an Ixies monster attached to Magnifica to the extra deck and then summon it back to the field by using Magnifica as material. This allows us to trigger the on-summon floodgate effects of some of our other Exosister monsters, and then also dodge removal at the same time. In the side deck, we are running a bestial package of 3 Magnamut and 1 Druis Worm to punish our opponent for the crime of playing light or dark monsters, and also to trigger our main deck Exosister effects. Moving from graveyard. It works even if the bestial does it. We have 1 Herald of the Abyss, which is a very funny way to remove unaffected cards like Expertly Noir by making your opponent do the removing instead of yourself. It's also searchable by Triple Tactics Thrust. Next up is 1 Called by the Grave in case of a bad hand trap matchup. Then we have 1 Raigeki and 2 Lightning Storms, which allows us to choose through other tough boards. Raigeki is just masquerading as the 3rd copy of Lightning Storm since that's semi-limited now. Next up is another unusual one, Magic Deflector, which is a floodgate that negates all spells that aren't normal spells, including Pearlia's Quick Plays, Kashtira's Field and Continuous spells, and Infernoble Knight's Equip spells, I guess? More importantly, the other 2 things though, I think. Then we finish things out with 3 evenly matched to clear sticky boards going second. With the deck quite thoroughly covered, let's check out how it performs in some games. So here we have the first game, and it's a pretty okay hand. We do have access to Martha, and we have Ellis for extension, but we don't have any of our other engines for extension. But hopefully Pot of Prosperity can fix that. We're up against a Floodgate Marincest deck, which is exhausting, but let's see what we could do. We're going first, we're going to Pot of Prosperity, banishing 6. Off the top, we have, nope. Well, Claw is exactly what we were looking for, so we're going to grab Claw. It's too late for Dimension Shifter, we don't need that. We're going to activate Pax. We're going to grab the Martha. Save Martha, won't you? We're going to activate Martha, summoning Ellis. We're going to Claw. Grabbing Cyberdark Realm. Activating Realm to search Edge. And then activating Realm to normal summon Edge, activating the effect to grab Claw, which will then trigger Martha to summon out Michaelis. Michaelis effect to grab Returnia. We're then going to go Ellis and Edge into Caspatel. We're going to activate the Caspatel effect to grab another Martha for next turn if we get our board wiped. We're then going to activate the effect of Ellis to extend. We're just going to normal summon the Martha, because you can actually just do this on your opponent's turn and then activate the floodgate effects. They're going to activate Dimensional Fissure though, and so I don't really feel like doing it. They're going to summon the Spring Girl. They're going to then summon Blue Slug. We're going to Returnia to just banish that shit. Don't want to see it. And then we're going to summon Magnifica. Then we're going to activate Magnifica effect. We're going to banish one of the face downs, and look, that's the skill drain. They're going to Gozen Match. We're going to banish that. This is why I banished in the end phase, because I knew that they're going to activate one of them. But now we can get rid of both. We're going to summon Sakitama, and our opponent is going to jiggle the internet connection. Actually, with Duelist Nexus, they probably just closed the tab. But either way, they lost. Let's go, lesbians. So game 2, and we have once again drawn okay. We have access to Martha, which is everything we need. We have Sakitama, we have Theresia. Don't have the Cyberdark stuff, but that's okay. We do have Triple Tactics Thrust, which can come up. Our opponent appears to be on some sort of Luna Kaiju Gren Maju thing. Looking forward to that. We're going to activate Pax, get our life points a little low for our opponent. We're going to grab Martha. We're going to save Martha. We're going to use the Martha right now to activate and summon and get Ellis, and then Sakitama effect to summon. I think I actually summoned, I think I specifically summoned the Sakitama I didn't reveal because it was funny. We're going to normal summon Theresia, activate the effect to get Frenzy. Then we're going to make Michaelis effect to grab Returnia. And what do you know, we have 2 on field. Let's make Caspatel effect to grab another Martha. We also activate the Caspatel effect to prevent special summoning from the grave. Not that it matters. We're going to set Returnia and then go to the next turn. They're going to summon Luna. Great. I love Luna. Luna's my favorite. They're going to use the effect of Luna. We're going to use Returnia. I specifically wait for them to activate the effect because it is a quick effect and they can retain it in response to Returnia and blank Returnia. So we use it here. We're going to banish the Luna and then we're going to Ixie summon and make Magnifica. And then they're going to turtle us. They're gonna kaiju us, and then they're gonna summon Thunderbird, pitching the other Luna. Then they're going to, you know, do the pot of desires, setting up the Grin Maju. They're gonna go Dala. They're gonna Monster Reborn our Magnifica. They're just trying to get damage on board. We're going to Dinomorphia Frenzy here because they're about to go to battle. I summon out Rexstrom. They summon out Draglubion using the 2 8s they have on field. They're going to make Numeron Dragon. They're going to activate the effect of Numeron Dragon. So that Numeron Dragon is a 13,000 attack monster. They're going to attack into Gamma Seal to try and go for game. But the Rexstrom effect saves us. We're going to have our life points and then lower the attack down to 1600, meaning it crashes into Gamma Seal. Then next turn, their attack returns to normal, but we can Pot of Prosperity to dig into our deck. We're going to dig for 6. We need to see something, anything that gets us out of this jam. We'll take Cyberdark Realm. Seems pretty alright to me. We'll activate the effect of Cyberdark Realm, grabbing the edge. We're going to Sakitama. We're going to Cyberdark Realm. And then our opponent will once again close the tab. we lose connection a lot here. It has to be people closing the tabs, right? So here we are in game 3. Once again, we have access to Martha. We have Pot of Prosperity to dig into our deck. We have a second Pot of Prosperity to fuck us over. We have a Sakitama to extend, and we have an Ash Blossom to deal with our opponent, who is, in fact, going first with Labyrinth. Uh-oh. They're going to set 1, and then they're going to summon Ariane. We're going to just Ash Blossom that right out of the gate. They're going to summon Lady Labyrinth in chain to that. They're going to set 1 and pass. We draw Triple Tactics Thrust. They're going to activate the effects here. We're going to set a card, Non-Aggression Area. Non-Aggression Area, huh? And then they're going to summon off of Big Welcome Labyrinth to get Lovely Labyrinth. They're going to put Ariana back to hand. They're going to activate the effect of Lovely Labyrinth, hitting that Triple Tactics Thrust. Damn it! We're in the Pot of Prosperity. We're doing 6. If only they'd hit the second Pot of Prosperity, that would have been real nice. We're going to Pax in chain to Pot of Prosperity. We're going to grab Martha. Then we're going to, off the top, find Cyberdark Realm of something. Triple Tactics Talent. We got it anyways. We could get Theresia too, and that's what we're going to do. Both of those will go to grave. We'll activate the effect of Martha, summoning Martha and Ellis. Then we'll Sakitama, summoning the Sakitama. And then we'll go for Michaelis with Michaelis effect. They're going to imperm that. Unfortunate. No effect of Michaelis for us. We're going to summon Theresia. We'll get Frenzy, which is actually probably better than getting Returnia, but we're going to go into Asophiel. We're going to Asophiel effect, bouncing Lady Labyrinth to hand, or Lovely Labyrinth. This may seem like a bad play, especially since they have the Torby in hand. Trust me, this was the right play. They're going to Torby, pitching the Lovely. They're going to set the Big Welcome. Then we're going to go into Magnifica. They can't activate the Big Welcome since it was set this turn. We're going to Magnifica to banish it away. And now it's out of rotation. They draw Infirm. They're going to use the effect of Big Welcome targeting Magnifica. We're going to Magnifica effect to just banish the Lady Labyrinth. We just want to get that out of here. And they can't seem to do anything else, so they go ahead and close the tab. They could have probably summoned Ariana, but we still have the Dinomorphia Frenzy. So, you know, maybe they realized that the Dinomorphia was gonna go wild on them. I don't know, we beat Labyrinth. That's pretty cool, right? So that's the deck. Well, again, this isn't my build. I thought this deck was too cool not to show off. Big ups to Dave Trepanier for taking this to 4th place at Montreal. The different engines work so well together, you might be fooled into thinking these cards are actually meant to go together. Exosister is also just well primed to fight against the current meta, so a deck that utilizes all the good cards and none of the bad ones has a lot going for it, as it's clear by its finish in Montreal. Hopefully you can take some of the ideas here with you into your next build, but if you don't, at least take with you the spirit to never stop brewing, since you never know what you can find if you dig hard enough. That's a little sappy, I know, but I think it's true. So, stuff that in your stocking. See you next time. Hey there. Thanks for watching this deck profile. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any other thoughts on the build or if you played this deck and how it did. Also make sure to follow me on Twitch and Twitter for more. And maybe throw a couple bucks my way on Patreon if you like. I hope to see you again, so be kind to yourself, be kind to others, and have a wonderful rest of whatever time it is for you. Bye!